Good afternoon, people. Welcome to Climate Lobby Day version 3.0 of 2025. My name is Jack Darren. I'm the director of the Illinois Sierra Club, and I have the great honor of welcoming you again to Springfield in the year of showing up for climate action in Illinois. It's so good to see you all here. I see friends from the south, from the north, the east, the west, working on a lot of really important issues with one thing in common: moving forward on bold climate solutions, regardless what Donald Trump and his cronies think they have in store for our country. This is what we have in store for Illinois: moving forward on climate, environmental justice, and a better future. So we're going to hear about three issues today, and I want to thank you again for showing up, not only here in Springfield, but showing up in our communities against everything that's happening in our country, thanks to the Trump and his cronies, and the way they're terrorizing and militarizing, scaring our communities. We have in our hearts our friends and neighbors who can't be here today because their own government isn't protecting them, but they're scaring them. So we carry their hopes forward for climate action in our messages today. So we're here to talk about fixing and funding public transit, helping consumers in staying on track to our clean energy goals, and addressing the single-use plastics crisis. So just in case you're wondering why we're talking about transit on Climate Lobby Day, you know, transportation is the biggest source of climate emissions we have in Illinois right now. Thanks to the work that we've done on CEJA, our electric emissions are declining. Transportation is our largest source, and it's still increasing. But we're going to change that thanks to the champions that we have working for us. And first, we're going to hear from State Senator Ron Villalobos, who's the chairman of the Senate Transportation Committee, who's working to fix and fund public transit. So let's give a warm climate champions welcome to State Senator Ron Villalobos.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Let them hear you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's great to be with you all again. Thank you so much to Jack, to the Sierra Club, to all of our partners, to all of you, to coming down to your state capitol and advocating that we get the public transit system that we want, need, and deserve. Am I right? So we've been on a journey. We've been on a journey of asking, requesting, requiring the Chicago Metropolitan Agency on Planning to convene stakeholders, do a report. We've introduced legislation. We've had 10 committee hearings, 35 hours of testimony. We've heard and seen legislation reintroduced, and now is the time for action. We must fix and fund our public transit system to make sure that it is safe, it's reliable, it's accessible, it's integrated, that we avoid 40% cuts to service, that we make sure that there are not 3,000 public transit workers that are out of a job. We called them essential during the pandemic. They're still essential, in my opinion. And most importantly, we make sure that we do this for our climate, for our environment. We are one of the most congested regions in the nation. That will get a lot worse if 1 million plus people that use public transit every day have to rely on a different way to get to work, to their doctor, to their school. We need to make sure that my son, after taking a CTA bus, does not have to walk behind that bus and inhale those emissions, right? So we are on a journey, we are on a mission to get this done. And I am really proud of the work that we've done to pass House Bill 3438, robust reforms, $1.7 billion in transformational investment for our public transit systems across the state so that we can have a world-class system for the next several decades to come and not just have a Band-Aid solution for next year. Are you with me? Yes. The time is now The fact that you are here means everything. Make sure your voices are heard. Reach out to your state rep, reach out to your state senator, reach out to the governor. We're going to get this done together. And when I say fix it, you stay funded. Fix it! Funded! Fix it! Funded! Fix it! Funded! Let's do it. Thank you.
All right.
You're introducing Evelina.
Is she here? Do you have Evelina? All right, in a minute we're going to hear from our House champion, State Representative Evelina Delgado. But I think while we're waiting for her to get here, we're going to hear from Danny Robles from the Illinois Environmental Council, who's helping lead our great coalition to fix it and fund it. Danny!
Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. Buenas tardes, bienvenidos a todos, y gracias por venir aquí a Springfield. Thank you for coming down to Springfield with us. My name is Danny Robles, and I am the proud Chicagoan and the Legislative Relations Director with the Illinois Environmental Council. Who here is a fellow transit rider? Who here wishes they could take public transit more frequently? And who here thinks Illinois deserves a better public transit system? I can't hear you. Who here thinks Illinois deserves a better public transit system? I couldn't agree more. That's why I spent the last few years alongside my colleagues in the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition advocating for legislation that would address and avert the transit fiscal cliff and reform our transit system. This issue has been all over the news, and a lot of the focus has been on the transit agencies. We've done our best to remind lawmakers what this issue really comes down to, and I'm here to remind them again, once again. This issue is about people. This issue is about millions of Illinoisans who use transit to get to work, to school, to access healthcare. This is about the thousands of Illinoisans who are employed by the transit agencies that move people around all over Illinois. This is about the millions of tourists who rely on our transit system to visit and take in our great state. And this is also about the Illinoisans who are negatively impacted by air and climate pollution. Having a robust public transit system will improve the pollution and make our communities healthier, and this is essential to our lives and our long-term livelihoods here in our state. And in honor of the people who our transit system serve, I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about our people. Volunteers with Better Streets Chicago, Active Transportation Alliance, the People's Lobby, and more have been hitting the streets for months to educate our communities about the transit fiscal cliff and urge them to contact their lawmakers. Rain or shine, they've been standing outside train and bus stations handing out palm cards to transit riders and rallying our communities. Let's hear it for them. To our friends with Access Living who have been working to educate lawmakers and the public about the importance of equity, accessibility, and transit and how they're all intertwined. Let's hear it for them. To our friends from Sierra Club, Green Latinos, ELPC, NRDC, and many other partners who have been hosting and participating in town halls and making calls to their districts to remind lawmakers about how key robust public transit system is for our environment. Let's hear it for them. People are at the heart of this campaign, and people are calling for these reforms and funding now. What transit agencies may want to kick the can down the road, our people who use our systems every day cannot wait. It's time to build a world-class transit system for the people of Illinois, not just Chicago, but in the suburbs and across downstate Illinois. Let's get it done this month. Let's get it done this month. Thank you.
All right, let's make our voices heard on transit. To help us do that, we've got Giselle Torres from Prairie Rivers Network to help us.
Okay, guys, I know you know this chant, so when I say fix it, you guys say?
Fund it!
Fix it!
Fund it!
Fix it!
Fund it!
Fix it!
Fund it!
All right, I think we are still waiting on Representative Delgado, am I right? So we're going to talk now about energy. Of course, this is critical to our climate future. And thanks to the work that you all did and our coalition did, we have our North Star in Illinois. We are moving towards 100% clean energy future by mid-century thanks to the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act. But we've got to stay on the case. We know that consumers are hurting now because of what Donald Trump and his cronies are trying to do to prop up dirty, expensive fossil fuel plants. Boo! So we need to take steps this month to pass the Clean and Reliable Grid Affordability Act to stay on track to our clean energy goals and help consumers by bringing more clean power online, beefing up our energy efficiency programs, and taking the steps to lower bills and stay on track as a climate action state. And I think we've got State Representative Ann Williams with us here, who's been a veteran of these fights. You probably know Ann Williams. You've been to Climate Lobby Day before. She is still on the case, fighting for our clean energy future. Representative Williams.
Hey everybody, how you doing today? Fired up like I am about clean energy and making it happen? Well, I'm really excited to be here. I have seen some of these faces in the crowd for years, fighting for clean energy, fighting for our environment, fighting for the right thing for the people of Illinois. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do, have done, and will do to make our world a better, cleaner, safer place for everybody. So thank you so much for being here. I have some prepared remarks, but in the interest of the day, I'm just going to speak from my heart and let you know how much the work you've done has meant to change energy policy in Illinois. It could not have happened without your efforts. And I think anyone that works in this space professionally can tell you what a difference it makes to have you here. For example, when CEJA first was put out, everybody talked about it, but you know, we have so much going on in this space. No one ever really knows, what is that bill? What were you talking about? What's that? But I'll tell you, by the time you guys came down here and lobbied, CEJA was a household word. Your phone calls, your letters, your emails, your rallies, talking to members in your districts and beyond, sharing the information with friends and family, it made a difference. And now we are working to make a difference and move forward on the many victories that we achieved in CEJA and to build upon those at a critical time in so many ways. First, we are dealing with rising utility bills. People are being forced to make tough choices, and that's not how it should be. We are taking bold steps in CERJA to make sure that we can get more capacity on the grid and bring those prices down. It's a matter of supply and demand, and we got to get that supply going. And we got to make sure it's clean and healthy energy. Goodbye to the carbon emissions of the past. We need to move forward. Number two, we all know what's going on in DC. We don't have enough time today to talk about everything happening. Elections matter, and sadly, we're seeing the dire consequences of Trump's election. That bill, what he's done with the IRA, has rolled us back decades in our climate fight. But we will not be deterred, because here in Illinois, we are moving forward, fighting against those dangerous policies that don't do anything for the people, disregard our climate crisis, and put us in great jeopardy. That is a critical piece and something we need to explain to all of my colleagues. This is about pushing back on what's coming out of DC and continuing the many gains that we've made here in Illinois. And number three, making sure that no matter what we do, we have a thread of equity so that all communities can share in the clean energy economy. This has been a priority from us from day one. Look around at this crowd. What a diverse, beautiful crowd from all parts of the state pushing for the same goal. Your voices matter, your voices are critical here, and again, thank you so much for being here and pushing for the passage of CERJA and transit and everything else you're working on today. It matters and you make a difference. Thanks, and I will see you soon, and let's get this one across the finish line. Thank you much.
Thank you, Ann Williams, for everything you do. Giselle, should we make some bold statements about clean energy?
Okay, guys, for this one, I'm going to say it once, and then you guys join me in on the second time. So this one goes, hey, hey, ho, ho, fossil fuel has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, fossil fuel has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, fossil fuels has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, fossil fuel has got to go. Woo!
You know, the other issue we're talking about today is the other, sometimes hidden way that fossil fuels show up in our lives, in our water, and even in our bodies, and that is the epidemic of single-use plastic pollution that is choking our waterways, our whole environment. And to talk about that, we've got Ann Ridge from the Coalition for Plastic Reduction. Come on up, Ann.
Good afternoon, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to be here, and happy to see every single one of you working so hard for this incredibly important thing. And I really want to thank the speakers. I'm in Ann Williams' district. I am so fortunate. She works so hard. She really does, and she really cares. And I'm going to go a little off script here. I think caring is really underrated in our culture. And I think that caring here really matters. Every single thing that we do here really matters. So I'm Ann Ridge. I'm a volunteer with the Coalition for Plastics Reduction, and I'm here to make a case for something around the climate problem, but from a different angle, which is the plastics problem. So my question is, does anyone here actually like seeing single-use plastics and trash practically everywhere? No! All right. So how about microplastics in the drinking water that ends up in our ecosystems, that pollute our bodies and the wildlife and our precious earth? What about those toxic chemicals that leach out of the worst single-use plastic products? Am I too far away? Do I need to get closer? Okay, I bob around a lot. I'm sorry. So, but I have, the energy thing, right? But no, but like, I mean, seriously, the products that are foam foodware. Does anybody want to see that? No. See, I knew that. I had a feeling you would be feeling that way because you care about the environment. You care about your friends. You care about your family. You care about your neighbors. Right? You care. And you care about our planet, this precious place that gives us life. So you might imagine asking yourself, when you come to a climate day, why are we talking about plastics? Because it's the plastic industry that is the lifeline of the oil and gas companies. Right? They love it. They see single-use plastic, it's money in the bank. Right? Boom! They burn through it. They can't wait to use every drop of oil and make every dime out of it. But we're going to change that, aren't we? Are we going to stop them? Yes. Woo! I want to hear it. Are we going to stop them? Yes! That's what I like to hear. That's what I thought. And that's another reason why here in the Capitol today, we're trying to urge our representatives to pass Senate Bill 1531. It has been passed in the Senate. We want it to pass so we will phase out polystyrene foam foodware containers in Illinois. Won't that be great when it's not in the parks? Won't it be great when it's not by the side of the street? Won't that be great when we don't have to see it anymore? So that's wonderful. Thank you. So good. I want to be clear that because we've been at this a while, we will get this legislation passed. We will do it. We're going to do it, and we know it's the right thing to do. We know that people support it all around. You know, it's interesting. I just had a conversation with someone who's working with the Illinois Restaurant Association. Many restaurants want to make this transition. They need to know how. They need to know how they can do it for cheaper. They need to know people can bring their own containers. I say talk to people about it. talk to everybody you know about it, and don't be ashamed. Just bring it right up every time you can. So I want to thank you so much for being part of this today. Every single one of your voices matter. Every single one of you are making a difference today, and I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Ann. For our last speaker, we want to close on a hopeful note here, because when we talk about bold climate solutions, yes, we're talking about protecting our planet for future generations, but we're also talking about real opportunities for people today, good jobs for people that need them most, and clean energy business opportunities, and building wealth in the solutions we need for the future. So I want you to hear from our next speaker, Chris Williams from Millennium Solar, who's doing just that by bringing clean energy onto our grid today and how we can keep that going. Chris, come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out to support this very important day. So far, we had some very high energy. Miss Williams, missed you at the reunion, and Miss Ann supporting the plastic use. So we want to get rid of that, right? Well, the reason why we're here today is because I am CJA. My name is Christopher Williams, and I am a living proof that Illinois' clean energy policy works. Illinois passed the Clean Energy Act back in 2021, setting our path to 100% clean energy by 2050. When advocates, businesses, and communities across Illinois were fighting to pass CJA that summer, I was building training locations across our state. So, our work has just begun, and our rally never stopped. Our cry was and still is, no climate, no equity, no deal. Together, we have helped push a historic climate bill across the finish line, one that prioritizes equity by centering workers in displaced communities. As Illinois transition away from dirty, expensive fossil fuels, one way equity delivers on this promise is through equity, sustainable accountability system. A system that finally opened the doors for local contractors like mine, Millennium Solar Electric, Inc. This system created new projects categories called the Equity Eligible Contractors, also known as EEC, under the Illinois Shines program. But this program isn't just policy, it is progress. It ensures that people in EJ communities, environmental justice communities, and those that have been long locked out of opportunity now have a fair shot at clean energy jobs, contracts, and careers that will build generational wealth. That's right. CJA has turned promises into pathways. My company, Millennium Solar Electric, Inc., and Millennium Solar Electric Training Academy is proud to be a recipient of CJA and equity eligible contractors. I founded my company at an early age of 21 years old back in 1999 during the Y2K scare. Some of us are old enough to know what I'm talking about. So, during the Y2K scare, I started my business and I sold generators. I sold a lot of generators. But guess what? After the millennium bug was gone and the world didn't come to an end, I sat home and I thought, what's the next big thing? Walked outside, looked up at the sky, looked at the sun, felt the wind blowing, and I thought, sustainable energy, renewable energy, solar energy. So I'd done my research. I started Googling places to take training in Illinois. Guess what I found? There was no college, no trade school, no institution teaching about solar. So I traveled to Iowa, Colorado, Wisconsin, and I got trained at the MREA to learn about solar. Somewhere back in 2006 or 2008. Came back with that information. I told my mom, I said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to go get that information and bring it back to Illinois. Because I had a vision of training young adults, high school students, foster kids alumni, those that haven't had a chance, college students, those that want to go to college, those that didn't want to go to college, ex-offenders. That was my goal. And my mom said to me, she said, son, slow down. Just get the training first. I don't know if she believes me, but I want to say this. To this date, I've trained 1,000 men and women in the state of Illinois. Okay? I received 2 grants at 2 different correctional facilities to do solar training in the prison.
Right.
It will be the first one in the country. No one else has done it. I was the very first training organization to do solar in the state of Illinois. Before there was CEJA, there was FEJA, Future Job Energy Act, and I did that, and I'm still here training, and I'm a developer installing solar in our low-income communities. And I am here to testify for SB 25 to say that this is real and I am real. So, I will like to wrap this up by saying that we are proud to be here, and CEJA has an opportunity for even more businesses like mine to do training in these communities, create opportunities and jobs. So passing the Clean and Reliable Grid Affordable Act will ensure that Illinois continue to build on the progress and the promise of CEJA. It will create thousands of families supporting clean energy careers, strengthened by our electrical grid, and help to heal our environment. I'm proud to be a champion clean energy as a business owner and a leader in the solar industry, and as part of what made CEJA so special. That's why we must protect the equity-eligible contractors block and continue to benefit from these policies like CEJA and CRGA to create new businesses and existing businesses whole to bring economic opportunity to people across our state. And I'm calling on our lawmakers to champion equity access to clean energy by passing CRGA Act this October.
That's right.
Thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Chris, for bringing clean energy online, creating those pathways, and reminding of us of that mantra that's helped us get all this progress done. No climate, no equity, no deal. All right, we're going to go out and project our power on those who are going to be casting these votes, and to send us out, raising our voices one last time, it's my friend Giselle.
Okay, guys, this is our last chance, so I need it to be powerful and I need it to be loud. Our legislators need to hear us through all of the real noise, okay? This is a question and answer. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Woo!
Thanks, people. Let's make it happen.